Hi, welcome in to Running Miles. I'm your host and coach, Josh. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to talk about whole foods. We're also going to talk about the injury that I still have, which is Achilles tendonitis. But before we get started, I'd like to give you a motivational speech, but this time I'm going to give you a motivational quote, and it's from Tony Horton, from I think he used to do this workout DVD collection, and back in the 90s or the 2000s, and he said, do your best and forget the rest. That's a pretty powerful quote. So if you're out there on the trail, just think about it. Do your best and forget the rest. So, if you can only walk at some point in the race, let's say you're on mile 30 and just something hit you, your stomach's not doing well, and just keep walking, keep going forward, keep moving, and maybe you walk for 5 miles, or maybe you walk for 2 miles, and then your stomach starts to feel better, and you start you start running again. So, all you can do is your best. So, and then forget the rest, So, pretty powerful quote there. Coming to the end of the season here. We're about to start the race here in a couple of weeks, and if you think about that during your practice or during the race, that can help you. Once again, do your best and forget the rest. Okay, so hopefully that can help you guys out when you're out there on the trail. Okay, I guess I'll talk about Achilles tendonitis first, since it kind of ties into the run. I ended up going for a run yesterday, and did 25 miles. It was all flat, and very nice. And this Achilles tendonitis, sometimes I think that this injury is so psychological. And then, before I started running, I had a pain level of 1 to 2. If you have this injury, you feel it. It's there, lingering, waiting. So it's I don't know how to describe it, but it's it just lingers. It's just there. It's annoying. Anyways, and you feel I think as a runner, you're well, maybe I shouldn't go because I have this pain. Maybe I should just rest it. And I'll go when the pain goes away. Anyways, I've done that before, and it just doesn't go away. So, but we got to get these miles in. And anyways, with all the research that I've been doing with the Achilles tendonitis, it seems you got to push through the pain. And if it's not a 4 or a 5, even some experts say that you can go up to a 5 of pain and keep going with it, maybe with the heavy lifting. maybe not with running. There's not too much research that I've found with running. They say start running, but there's not too much research that I've found that talks about how much running you can be doing or anything like that. So kind of just winging it with this injury and just sharing my experience. So, but anyways, yeah, so it's very psychological. I mean, if I'm feeling a 1 or a 2 of pain, I'm like, okay, there's no way I can, like in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, okay, there's no way I'm going to be able to run more than like a mile or 2 or something like that. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, and then this pain's going to go to like an 8 or a 9 if I run on it or something like that is what kind of like I'm thinking, right? And anyways, but I'm thinking at the same time, I'm like, well, got to get these miles in. This is the last long run that I can do because I'm 2 weeks out of the race. And the last week I want to do a really big taper, right? I think next week I'm just going to do 15 miles. Okay. So it's like the last one. Okay. So my plan originally was just to go, okay, I'm in a pain level 1 or 2. Why don't we just do, I'm going to run 2, walk 1. Run 2, walk 1. Run 2, walk, run. Okay, that's what I'm going to try to do, because on Wednesday I ran 2, walked 1, ran 2. And I don't know. I felt like I could have ran the whole time. But the experts say that you want to ease into it. So they're saying run, walk, is what a lot of the experts have said. Anything that I've read on it are some videos that I've watched. So that was the plan, kinda. But I started feeling pretty good. It was almost at a 0 of a pain tolerance when I started running. Although it was like a 1 or a 0. But it never kind of got bad, to like a 3 or a 4. So I just kept running the whole time. I didn't have a walk. I would walk to eat. I told myself every hour just to start walking for 10 minutes and eat your food. And so that's what I kind of did. Every hour I would walk 10 minutes to eat the food that I had and stuff like that. But throughout the whole, I ran 25 miles. I guess I should have done 30, which was on the schedule. But I was kind of running out of time. So yeah. So I did 25. And the whole time it was kind of like a 1 of pain level. And yeah, I woke up this morning, got a workout in, but didn't do leg, just did some upper body workout. And still walking around. But once again, the pain tolerance is like a 1, so that's great. It's not as bad as maybe I would have thought. So that's good. Now I didn't do a leg workout, so I don't know where the tendon is, and I can evaluate that by when I do my leg workouts, because then I know kind of how it feels and where I'm at in the recovery process. It seems to me that I'm going to have this injury for a long time. apparently, and it might not go away for like a year. So I guess I just have to adopt these workouts probably for the rest of my life. And I put them in the show notes of the last episode that I did. But, you know, they're just the calf raises. You know, that one really tells you a tale of your tendon. You know, when you're going with a one leg calf raise and you got weight, how does it feel when you're up there for 5 seconds holding it, and you're holding a 40-pound dumbbell, right, or 45. I did end up buying a 50 and a 60, and I might buy a 70, but those things are really heavy. I don't even know if I can pick up the 60. So maybe once I have some adrenaline running, I might be able to pick up the 60. But, you know, 45 was the highest that I had. But a lot of the videos that I watch and some of the experts with AI and all the resources that we have these days say that you need really heavy weight for the calf raises. So since I don't go to a health club or a gym, I just have weights at my house. You kind of have to invest in that kind of stuff. So yeah, I got the 50 and got the 60, and once I'm able to do the 60, I guess I'll invest in the 70. They cost a lot, you know. At least they're not back in the 2020s when they were like $2 or $3 per pound. I think they've kind of gone back to $1 a pound, which is nice. But that means $70 for a 70-pounder plus tax. So it does add up, but I think if you're looking, you know, in the long term, I think I'm gonna have this injury for it looks like for 6 or for a year. You just gotta adapt and integrate it into your daily workouts, and that's what I guess I plan to do, for sure. But I'll say this to you guys. I think when I first got the injury, I worked out every single day with leg workouts and stuff. And that didn't, I don't think that helped me quite as much. So then this week I did the leg workout every other day, and I think that helped a lot. So doing these leg workouts every other day is very beneficial, but at the same time I'm trying to get in my mileage. So since I'm trying to rest every other day on my legs, I'm not running. I'm running on the days that I do the heavy lifting. Still taking the creatine to give me an extra boost and muscle gaining. Trying to eat a lot of protein to help with the muscle gain, because that's what you need with Achilles tendonitis in the calf muscle. And so I've been doing that. I also tried to fast. I fasted last week. The reason I tried to do the fasting was to stop the inflammation from the tendonitis. And I don't think it had an impact on it. You know, as soon as I was done with it, you know, I still had that pain. I still had the lingering pain of the tendonitis. like it was just there, you know. And it never did go away, even with fasting. I fasted for 72 hours, which is really hard to do. It's definitely one of the hardest things that I've ever done, is those fasting things. Yeah, it did get rid of some information, I guess, but it didn't help with any of the pain, I guess. I still have the pain. You can feel it when you walk around or go up steps. It just lingers there. But I was definitely really fascinated with running 25 miles and still having the pain with the level 1. Still waking up with the pain level 1, which was great because I didn't have extra pain. So that was good. And it's such a strange injury for sure. Like, I think it's so psychological, you know. Once again, as a runner, you're like, no, I'm not running today because I feel this pain, and I'll just rest today because of this pain. But once again, a lot of experts say, you know, you just gotta go with the pain and push through it. But you don't want to get above like a 5 pain level. And see how you do the next 24 hours, you know, after you go for a run. Is it the same pain or is it higher, you know? Because you know, my pain's a 1 and I just ran 24 or 25 miles, right? And it's still 25. I mean, it's still a 1. And whether it seems like whether I go running or I don't go running, I'm gonna wake up with a pain level of 1, which is just crazy, I think. So anyways, I think it's gonna be okay. We'll see. We'll just do the weightlifting with the running on the running days, and I'll probably do 2 running days this week with the long run. So I guess 3 running days. Probably will go out on a Monday, and then I'll go out on I'll go out on Monday and Wednesday. I'll go out Monday, Wednesday probably. And we'll see how it feels, see how it's going. And I'll probably update you the week the race week. And then I'll do an episode on the race week, which will talk about the game plan. I don't have a crew. I'll be there probably by myself. So talk about what we need to do to get prepared, and so you can conquer the stuff even if you don't have a crew. So talk about that, and yeah. So anyway, let's start talking about Whole Foods. Not sure if anybody, you know, this is so dynamite, Whole Foods, because everybody has a different opinion on what to eat. And I think it's so different because everybody has their own microbiomes, which is in your gut, right? And everybody's so different. So maybe what foods are healthy for me aren't healthy for you, and vice versa, right? So that's why it can be so dynamite. And maybe you should try out using your body as an experiment with food, and just figure out what works for you, how you're feeling, if you eat this, and then you can figure out what's good for you. You know, there's a lot of experts out there that swear by eating just plant foods and no meat, and it's cured all their problems, and they're feeling so much better because they just eat plants. And then there's people that say plants are going to eat you. And experts that have written books say there's the spinach and the kale and all these plants, which kind of makes sense. You know, plants don't want to be eaten, so they send out these poisons in the leaves and they hurt you. And as soon as they stopped eating these plants, these foods, they got better and they're magically healed. So, I mean, just food in general is so dynamite for everybody. And since we're all different, you know, we all think we're human, so we're all like, oh, we're all the same. But we're not. Everybody's microbiome is so different, and each foods that you eat is so different, and everybody is different. And so there's not like a right or wrong way to eat in that sense, because what's good for one person is bad for another, which I guess I just said that. So it's definitely dynamite. And then once again, some people swear by just eating meat, carnivore diet, where some people actually just eat meat and salt, and they swear by it. They're like, this has cured all my diseases. This has helped me so much. And so I'm going to stick with it. And they just eat meat and salt for the rest of their lives. You know, because it's cured all their problems. So I think, and maybe it has. And maybe these people, you know, what they've chosen to eat has cured their lives. And, you know, that works for them. And so there's no right or wrong way to eat, you know. For me, and I can leave this in the show notes, I follow a company called Zoe. And he's the gut doctor, and he just recommends that you have, you know, 30 different plants during the week, and just eat 25 to 30 grams of fiber, which that's what I tried to follow, and it's helped me. So I kind of just stick with that, and it tastes really good. So, I mean, I feel like I can do it for the rest of my life. It's just helped me with my fitness routine and just keeping healthy, having energy. Because if you have congenital heart disease, then you know that you're always low on energy. Especially my heart doesn't work like a normal heart. Once again, I got 2 valves going in and just 1 valve going out. They've tied the 2 valves together, so a normal heart would have 2 valves coming in, 2 valves going out. So I'm probably not getting as much oxygen or something. I don't know. But yeah, a lot of people with this disease definitely report being tired. So this definitely helps. Not being as tired, eating healthy, eating the whole foods, and getting your exercise, which once again is always kind of backwards thinking, because people that are tired, they're like, I'm not going to work out. You kidding me? I'll be even more tired if I work out. But it's quite the opposite, that if you start working out, you'll have more energy, which I think some people honestly can't understand that comprehension. And so then they go their whole lives never working out, because they just don't have the energy, I guess. So, but once again, I tell you, you work out, you'll have more energy. Anyways, so back to the whole foods here. Yeah, I'll leave that in the show notes. They also have a podcast that you can listen to that just talks about whole foods and healthiness and just all that stuff. So hopefully that can start you on the journey. And once again, something that helped me. It might not be the blueprint for anybody, or maybe some people, but everybody has their own way of doing stuff. But I'm just sharing you what I've done with my journey to help you guys if you needed some help. The hardest part sometimes is getting started. If you've never even thought about your diet or whole foods, maybe this is the time to start. It can be as simple as just going to the grocery store and buying one whole food that you normally don't buy, and just put it in the fridge. Just buy it, put it in the fridge. You don't have to eat it, but just look at it for a week, and that's probably the simplest thing that you can do. It's just buying it from the supermarket, putting it in the fridge, and just looking at it, okay? And maybe the next week, you go in there, you buy it, you put it on the shelf in the fridge, and you taste it, and you eat it, right? So those are quite really simple things to integrate, which is starting. A lot of people have a problem with getting started. So that can help you get started. As you taste different whole foods, if you do this per week, you're looking at 52 different whole foods you're going to try within a whole year, right? So it's just these small steps can add up to big things. And once you do it, your taste buds are going to change. Once you really start doing it, maybe you eat whole foods. Okay, today I'm just eating whole foods. Okay, that's a start, right? Then you skip one day, then the next day, then you just do one day, 1 week, right? Then the next week you do 2 days, which is whole foods, and 3 days, which is whole foods. Then the next week, 4 days, or you go a couple of weeks with, you can be as slow as you want with this. The slower, the better, because that's going to get you some positive routines, and it's going to give you positive habits. So just go slow. It's not a race, just go slow with it. Your taste buds are going to change over time, and I'm telling you, you're going to crave the whole foods. You're not going to crave that. I mean, I think I tasted some, or I was thinking I wanted some chips. They always look good in the chip drawer. I went to taste one like a year ago, and it was so gross. I had to throw it up. But they were my favorite chips. Before I started eating whole foods. I loved them. I went to taste them like a year ago, and they were so gross. So your taste buds are going to change. You're going to start craving whole foods. It's hard to explain, but you're addicted to whole foods. I am. I can't go without eating that stuff. So, but it definitely starts with the small changes and just getting started, which is the hardest part. I feel for people, it's just getting started. So, once again, that's just going to the grocery store, buying a whole food, right? If you don't know what a whole food is, well, that's something that grows in the ground. That's something that grows on a tree, okay? It's whole food. something from an animal, right? Eating an animal's whole food. So, yeah. So go to your supermarket and you can get yourself some blueberries, or you can get some grapes, or you can get some kale or some spinach. There's so many whole foods. You can grab yourself some peanuts, grab yourself some walnuts, or grab yourself some type of nuts. If you don't have any allergies to nuts, those are amazing, man. Nuts taste so good. And there's so many different ones to try. Maybe you don't like pecans, but you like walnuts, or vice versa, right? So it's learning out what foods you do like. You don't have to eat every whole food that's ever been made. There's hundreds and hundreds of whole foods to try and to taste. So I encourage you to go out there, buy one whole food a week, and taste it. If you don't like it, don't buy it again. Nobody's saying you have to eat this stuff. What we're saying is find something you like. So get the one piece of food in your fridge, try it. Okay, you're gonna try. Let's say you try. Everybody's tried an apple, but try kiwi. Okay, I've never tasted a kiwi before. Okay, well that's okay. Okay, let today be the first day you try kiwi. Okay, you eat it. Okay, kiwi. You might not know this, but you can eat it with the skin on or the skin off. The skin does taste pretty bad, so you might want to peel it. But if you don't like kiwis, guess what? Don't buy it again. Try something else. There's so many whole foods to try. You could get a dragon fruit, or you can get, a grapefruit, and try it. What does it taste like? Okay, I like it. I don't like it. Okay, you don't like it. Remember that and don't buy it again. But your goal for the year is to try one whole food a week. Okay? And so if you do that, then once again, within the year, you'll have tried 52 new whole foods. Okay? That's going to change your taste buds. It's going to change your life. Hopefully for the better. Hopefully you don't have some kind of allergic reaction to trying the new food, which could happen. So, but yeah, if you develop a rash or something, I don't know what could happen to somebody, but that happens if you eat this food. Well, then you probably don't want to eat that food again, right? So it's just trial and error. And it starts with you. So, but it is really helpful, you'll just have to take a deep dive into nutrition and try to figure it out on your own, in a sense. I mean, you can go see an expert on it if you want, but it just starts with the small changes. And you can start out 5% whole foods, 95% I eat whatever I want. And then as the year progresses, that could get to 50% whole food and 50% I eat whatever I want. And you just switch the balance. But it's definitely hard to live this way, because you'll find most people don't live that way and they eat whatever. So you just have to educate yourself in a way where you can order whole foods on a menu in a restaurant when you're with other people. Sometimes that can be challenging here in the United States, ordering just whole foods, and try not to order processed foods when you go to a restaurant and stuff. So that can be difficult. So that's one of the equations that you're gonna have to learn if you do switch to a whole food diet. Is learning how to order on a menu, which is definitely very challenging. Some stuff that's helped me do that is looking at the menu before I go and kind of deciding, this is what I have, this is what I'm gonna substitute for this and that, and this is what I order. So that can kind of help. Yeah, I mean, you can get a hamburger and then just don't eat the bun and have the lettuce, the salad on it if you want. But it's definitely difficult when you're eating out to order Whole Foods. So it's something that you gotta practice, I think. Anyways, I failed to mention what. Oh no, I did talk about that. Okay, I did talk about that. So then we got processed, okay, and then we got ultra processed. So processed is a whole food can be processed. So what that means is that it's just gone through something that gone through a process, okay? That means process, right? So I'm talking about corn, right? Corn in a can, and it's with salt. Okay, that's processed. That's not ultra processed. That's processed food. And I mean, to me, I feel like that's still gonna be pretty healthy. I mean, vegetables in a freezer, processed. But I feel like frozen veg is still gonna be really good for you, right? So don't get caught up in the word process. I don't think that you should get caught up in that word. But the ultra process is food that's made. So that's like cereal, right? That's stuff that's been engineered in a factory, right? That you want to stay away from, okay? Ultra processed. Which is crazy because running these ultras, I mean, you got to fuel yourself, right? With carbohydrates. And it's like if you need to eat the ultra processed foods to fuel your body to run these ultras, because it's so hard to fuel your body with whole foods, because you're eating so much and your gut can't handle all that food inside of your body because it's got to move the blood to your muscles because your muscles are hurting. So then it can't digest the food that it needs to digest. So it's definitely tough for your body for sure. And I set out to try to just eat whole foods in this training, but I failed to do that. If I'm trying to get to the 90 carbohydrates, I can't carry all that food with me. Maybe I should have just ran a 5-mile loop and then circled back and ate some Whole Foods or something. But I don't know. I like the out and backs, so that's what I kind of did in my training. And running these ultras, I'm gonna have 3 drop bags. So and it's in 6 because it's an out and back twice. So I'll have 6 drop bags. I think are out and back. Yeah, 6. I think I have 6 drop bags. So I could always pack those with some Whole Foods. But I probably will do the sugar, even though you can do honey or you can do syrup, which is natural, which is Whole Foods and it's natural. So once again, syrup and honey are both processed, right? But they are still considered a whole food. So, I would say that it's definitely really hard to not eat ultra processed food during an ultra, unless you went the other direction, which would be a keto or ketones, right? Which you would not do carbohydrates and you would be running off of fat, which some people do that. But this episode's not about that. So, which is doable. I think people that are really successful at doing keto, it's because for the first time they're introduced to Whole Foods and they're starting to figure out what to eat and what not to eat, and they're learning about the different fruits and how much sugar each one contains, and they're learning about Whole Foods. So that's kind of like why I think they're so successful. Also, eating low carbohydrates does help you lose weight quickly as well. So those can be some great reasons. But yeah, I would say check the show notes. I'm going to put the company I follow in the show notes, and you can check out their podcast, and you'll learn a lot about nutrition if you do that, for sure. So hopefully that can help you guys out on your journey, and yeah, good luck out there. For me, what I try to do is I try to just eat whole foods every day now, and I like it. It's easy. I don't worry about organic. If it's almost the same price, then I'll buy organic. If not, then I'll just get the original. But there's definitely 3 different stages you could do. I mean, you could do whole food that's organic and just eat that. Or you can just grow your own food in your own yard and make sure that your dirt is purified or whatnot. That's even more extreme. So there's even more extreme that you can be with your whole foods. So for me, I don't stress about that. I try to keep it stress-free as much as I can. So, but yeah, I mean, you can go crazy with it if you want. And grow your own stuff, and or just only buy organic. But at some point you need to just balance it out and not stress too much about it. But I try my best to eat whole foods 100% of the time, but I'm not perfect. It's really easy to slip up, and eat something that's processed or ultra processed. But for the most part, it's every day I'm just eating whole foods, and it's kind of changed my life. Once again, I've never been this way. Only the change only happened, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, when I kind of took a deep dive, and you know, I credit my heart disease for this. You know, I was 60 pounds overweight, and I felt it, and I decided to make a change. You know, I don't know if I didn't have heart disease, would I have felt being overweight 60 pounds? Obviously you could see it, but maybe you couldn't feel it inside your body, you know. But just going up the steps, I was huffing and puffing, 60 pounds overweight, and it was a time to change. So, and just sharing that with you guys. And obviously, probably if you're running 100 miles, you're not 60 pounds overweight, probably. But I don't know. But maybe you're a runner and you do not focus on whole foods. You just eat whatever, because you can just run it off the next day, and you just think, yeah, that's how I've lived my whole life, and I just eat McDonald's, I eat whatever, I don't care, right? It's helping me. But I don't know, I just imagine, man, think about how great you are right now, and you eat all that stuff. Think about if you switch to whole foods, and maybe how fast you can actually get, or something like that. So you know, you could try it out and see if it's for you. But for me, it has changed the way I live, because it just gives me more energy, and I just feel better, have more clarity, and yeah. So hopefully this episode helped you out a little bit with whole foods. And once again, I am not a physician, so if you have Achilles tendonitis, you definitely want to get evaluated and get their opinions. And I'm just sharing the successes that I've had with the injury, and what's worked for me. But it's no way that it's supposed to be you know, something to take literally and apply it to your life. You know, this is just my experience. The last thing I want you guys to do is you know, I feel like a 1 or a 2. I go out there and I run and I snap my Achilles, and now I'm hurt for a long time, right? So definitely want to make sure that you guys are aware that this psychological injury that's painful, you know, maybe you are about to snap your Achilles, so maybe you shouldn't run on it. So it's definitely a really hard injury, you know. The last thing you want to do is make it even worse. But then the experts say you're not supposed to rest, you're supposed to get it in pain. So yeah, just, you know, I would say listen to the experts, and find yourself a running physician, maybe, that can help you get back into running. For me, if I can do 45 pounds and hold it on one leg, and I can jump, and I still have the one pain, for me, I feel like I can go running, and maybe that running is a one pain, but it's doable, and that's what I've been doing, and I've had some success with it. And then once again, working out every other day. So that means if I have to run, I'm running, then I'm hitting the gym with the weights. I'm on the same day, not a different day. The different day, I'm totally resting with the leg. I'm still going to work out, right? But not with the leg. I'm going to do upper body or ab workout or something, right? And then the next day, I'm doing the running again. And then I'm going to do the weight training on that day. Then the next day, I'm going to do upper body or something, push-ups, weights with the chest and their arms, right? So that's helped me, and I'll continue that habit into the next week, and I'll update you and let you know how it's feeling. And then once again, we'll be doing just a minimum of probably 15 miles next Saturday. So yeah, I appreciate you listening, and thanks for tuning in. Hope you guys have a fantastic day, and hopefully this episode can help you change your life. Okay, talk to you next week. Have a great day.